How's it going?
Awesome, Michelle. Excited to be on All Ears English. How's everything with you?
Everything is good. I'm watching a good TV show, actually.
Ooh, do tell.
Have you heard of Only Murders in the Building?
Nope, I haven't heard of it. Is it a crime show?
It's like it's a crime show slash comedy. Actually,
Mm.
there's something to do with podcasts in it. You would you should watch it. It's on Hulu. We got like a 30-day free trial because we don't have Hulu, but it's with Steve Martin and Martin Short.
I love it. Are they making fun of podcasting? Because usually that's what happens in media. Like in movies, they'll kind of like poke fun at it, at the art of podcasting, which I love that.
A little bit, but so it's about like like true crime podcasting. They're
Oh,
making a true
fun.
crime podcast.
Fun. I love that.
I think you would like it. Anyway, so I just had to
Okay.
say that. But anyway, but do you need to this is kind of changing the subject.
Okay.
Do you need to brush up on any of your skills? Especially,
Oof.
yeah, well, we're talking about podcasting. Yeah. Anything you need
So
to brush
many
up on?
things, Michelle. There's so many things I need to brush up on. I mean, when it comes to podcasting, I would like to explore building skills around using the voice in different ways
Mm.
and languages too. I need to brush up on my Arabic from last spring of what I learned because I don't want to lose it, and getting ready for the travel, my trip, of course, to
Yeah.
Portugal. So lots of brushing up.
Right.
What about you, Michelle? Anything specific that you want to brush up on?
Yeah, definitely, language, like my French and, we've
Hmm.
talked about, especially recently, we have talked about that. I would love to brush up on my, music playing and my singing and stuff like that.
Yes, because you used to write songs, I think you've shared with
Mm.
our audience before, right?
Yeah,
You used to
all the
write songs?
time, and then
Mm,
as and then I, like, kinda got out of it, and then I became a mom, and it was all over. So, like, I still
yeah,
make up songs with my kids, but,
yeah,
ridiculous songs. So,
yeah.
um, but
That's fun though.
but today, we have a listener question from Roberto. Yeah, this is dealing with brush up on. And yeah, Lindsay, would
Okay,
you like
alri
to read it?
I would like to. This is all right, so this is from YouTube, and our listener is asking for, yeah, just to know about brush up on, right? Um, so let's see. Well, what was the specific question? That's what it
The
is. It's from
That's the
Roberto
question.
from
He
Sao
wants us
Paulo.
to do a video. Yeah, he wants us to do a video lesson about to brush up on
Brush up
something.
on, yeah, there was
That's from Roberto. So thank you for that question, Roberto. I know you've wanted your questions answered, and I apologize for
oh.
taking some time on this, but we got it. We're here for you today. Thank you for following up on us.
Yes, Roberto, thank you for pushing us, and I know that you have requested this a few times, so finally, this one is for you. I
This is
love it.
for you. All right. So, guys, head on over and listen. We recently did episode 2061, which was Justify Your English with Today's Famous Saying. So, it's a good one.
Yeah, and before we start today, I do wanna make sure I call out our amazing Android app reviewers. Guys, we do have an app for All Ears English, and it is the best way to consume the show. You can listen for free in the app, but you can go deeper because you can see transcripts in real time and you can save key vocabulary words. But I wanna call out a couple of those of you guys who reviewed us in Android. So thank you to Sleeping Beauty DF, Jeff D, Gio Kaw, and Ama Nogali. Amy Muhammad said, incredibly amazing.
Aw.
Love this app too much.
Aw.
And left a 5-star review. And thank you to Rifti Ansha. Those are just a few of our amazing app users and Android and our reviewers. Michelle, I
Yes.
love reading those reviews. They're
Yeah,
fantastic.
it's really touching. Thank you so much, guys.
Yeah, so guys, go over to allearsenglish.com/app to try out the app with a new way to listen. Love it.
Exactly. All right. So, Lindsay, let's talk about this. So, brush up on something. It means to learn more about it. But do you say brush up on for something that you haven't ever done?
No, so that's the difference, and that's why I think actually my example in the beginning wasn't that great of learning Portuguese because I actually am just starting it
Mm.
now, but the example of
Mm.
Arabic was better. However, usually it's something that you've done a lot in the past, right? Wouldn't
Yes.
you say, like, you've
Right.
become pretty good at something, and then
Yes,
you got
at one
rusty?
time. Right, you got
Oh,
rusty, yes.
right,
So,
right,
yeah, exactly. It's more about a skill that you already have, but
right.
you maybe are not so great at it anymore or don't
Yes.
remember it.
Rusty. Mhm.
Yeah. So guys, that is really the key about brushing up on something. So you're something that you're trying to get better at again, basically.
Totally.
So yeah, you can brush up on a language, or what else can you brush up on, Lindsay?
You can brush up on your skills at work. I mean, there are a lot of
Mhm.
specific skills, marketing, conversion rate tracking, a lot of things that we could do. You can brush up on those skills. You can brush up on your history. That's
Mhm.
interesting, right? Brush up on your knowledge of like the Civil War in the
Yeah.
American West or something. I don't know, right?
Right. No, but like yeah, there might be something that you know that you learned it at school, and once you knew it, for taking tests and you had to write a paper on something, but then maybe you're watching a documentary or something and you're like, "Oh yeah, I have to brush up on my history of this because I don't remember," you know?
Right, right, right. I'm sure that a lot, because the Oppenheimer movie just came out, and I'm sure a lot of
Mhm.
people were saying this to their family members. They
Yeah.
say, "Oh, I've got to brush up on my memory of World War II, you know,
Mhm.
brush
Mhm.
up on my knowledge of World War II." So that's it. Love it.
Yeah. So
Yes.
why do we say, I mean, so I think of brush up like using an actual brush, like maybe, a toothbrush or something to make something clear, right? Like it's all kind of like foggy or dirty and you're
Yeah.
kind of like getting it all nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what I think of. So guys, you can think of that image. We've talked recently about using images to remember English. So yeah, to brush
Mhm.
up on something, get that image in your head to remember it.
Yep.
Um
Mhm.
Lindsay, so would you say brush up on?
Sure. Yeah, I would say that. Especially, let's say a good example, a use case would be someone asked me to do a talk, like a speech, a presentation on a topic that I used to be good at, but I just haven't paid attention to it for a while because someone else on our team has been doing it, right? Like maybe
Mm,
email writing. I would say, sure, I can do that presentation. I just need to brush up on my knowledge of email
right.
writing, right?
Right,
Mhm.
exactly. It's very useful, this expression. I think, like, I mean, Lindsay, we're talking about things you wanna brush up on now, but is there an old skill that you had that you did brush up on at
Hmm.
some point? Like, I was thinking maybe for you, like, tennis. Did you ever stop playing tennis and then you got
Yeah,
back
but
into it?
Like, does that work though for physical sports? I'm trying to think now.
You
I'm
think
trying
it's
like,
more
do
of a
I say
knowledge
brush up
thing?
on my tennis? I don't Okay, I'm totally losing my mind right now. I don't even know. Is it
Yeah,
I
I
kind
think
of
that you could
feel you?
because you could say
Okay.
like brush up on my yeah, like I wouldn't say brush up on my tennis, but I might say like brush up on my tennis skills,
Okay,
or
there you
like
go.
or
The
what if
key
you're
is
like
the
a
wording.
yeah,
The
what if
key is
you're a
the
tap
wording.
dancer or something? You're like in a dance troupe and like, "Oh, I got to brush up
Mm,
my
mhm,
toe
yeah.
taps," or like yeah,
Yeah, so it's
right?
something more specific rather than just brush up on my baseball or my skiing, like, I need to brush up on
Yeah.
my, like, mogul skills, I guess, but I tend to do it more in, like, a less in a like, a way around sports and physical
You think
activity.
it's more just
Kind of,
in
like,
your
just
head or
no
something
yeah, it's a
speaking. Yeah.
little I think it leans conceptual and
Mm.
cognitive.
Mhm.
I need
Mhm.
to
Mhm.
brush up on my, like I said, writing skills, like my grammar,
Mhm.
punctuation.
Mhm.
That's just my bias, but I'm not sure if that's
Oh,
correct.
interesting. No, I mean, that is interesting, and now that it's one of those things where now that I'm thinking about it, now I'm like, "Oh god," like, because sometimes when you think about something too much, then you get yourself
Right,
confused.
exactly. That's what I'm saying, I'm losing my mind.
Yeah, that's what happens, guys.
Yeah.
So but that's okay. So that's just some ideas. So, see how you how you hear people use it. But
Yeah.
let's talk about some other related expressions. So this one we already talked about, and we have talked about this on the show before, to get rusty, right? So,
Yes, this
Lindsay,
one
we've already
definitely.
bringing, yeah, this is, so what does it mean to get rusty?
Yeah, this really is very you could this would be great for physical sports or, remembering things. It's the same thing, imagine, like, a bright, shiny car. That
Hmm.
is your skills when you're at the height of your game, whether it's your tennis game or your songwriting, Michelle, and then
Hmm.
the car sits out in the weather, let's say on the East Coast, all the
Yeah.
storms and the salt water, and it becomes rusty, and all of a
Hmm.
sudden, you're not at the top of your game anymore, it's just
Right.
rusty. I've gotten
Yeah.
rusty. Yeah?
Yep, yep. So I
Mhm.
could say like, "Oh, I'm getting rusty on my guitar picking technique, so I need to
Right.
take some time to brush up."
Yeah, perfect. Love it. Or
All right.
the next one,
Yeah.
guys, so I hope you guys are writing these down. We wanna be writing these down. A refresher. right?
Mhm, mhm.
So for example, I forgot how to get into this program. Can you give me a refresher? Yep.
Right.
Mhm.
Right. Yeah, it's just some the reminder of something I did know how to do at one point, but I
Yep.
need to refresh my memory, right?
Exactly. And what's the last one?
The last one is to fine tune, right? So that's just to, tweak it a little, make it better, make it tighter, right?
Mhm.
So I haven't practiced my Spanish in so long. I really have to fine tune my skills before I move to Spain.
Yeah, and a good approach is, always working on your Spanish. And this reminds me, I need to book a Spanish lesson for the next few weeks, but like always be working on your Spanish. And then when you're about to take a trip, you really kind of zoom in there
Yeah,
and book maybe 3 or 4 lessons a week, right? Or use an
exactly.
app or just really focus on that skill specifically.
That's
Okay.
right.
All right. So, do we have a few more phrases for our listeners? I know they love vocab.
Well, this is more actually our tips. So, like, if you've
Okay.
gotten rusty and you need to brush up, I was thinking of like what can you do? Just I would say take it slow. Don't put pressure on
Mhm.
yourself. And what else?
Well, yeah, and I just wanna make an extension of that. The way that we allow ourselves to take it slow is by giving ourselves lots of time. Like, for example, if there is a trip
Yeah,
coming up,
right.
right? Don't say, "I'm gonna brush up on my Spanish the week before." Give yourself 3 months, right?
Right. That's
Or
true.
if there's
That's
some kind of a
true.
performance, give yourself that time. That's how we make sure we can take it slow. I really think that's important, right?
Yes. Give
Learning doesn't
yourself
have
the time to take it slow.
Yeah, because especially language learning, when you're feeling under pressure or in a rush, the brain shuts down in terms of acquiring new information. The wall goes up, right?
Mhm.
That cognitive wall goes up and
Mhm.
nothing new can really get in because you're so concerned and anxious. So give yourself
Right.
time. Love it.
Yes, yes, very good point over there. And then make it something you enjoy. So keep the goal in mind. But yeah, if you don't like learning a language, then it's might. I mean, maybe you have to brush up on it for an exam or something. But like, don't
Mhm.
try not to waste too much time on brushing up on things that are not necessary. Obviously, some things for work, like you have to do, but for the leisurely things, actually, you should like what it is.
Yeah, of course. And then have an accountability partner. Have someone else
Mhm,
that's maybe on their own journey. Maybe they have something totally different that they're trying to brush up on, or the same thing. Maybe you're in a
mhm.
class together. Oh,
Mm,
text each other every night when you've done the thing, you've done the practice or spent the time reading about the
yeah.
thing, right?
Yeah. Yep,
Yeah.
exactly. So let's do a role play. So in this role play, we used to take a dance class together.
Okay. Oh my gosh, Michelle, I'm a terrible dancer. But I was thinking about starting a modern dance class downtown. I was thinking about
Really?
joining like hip hop or something. I don't know. I think it'd be fun just to move in a different plane of movement rather than just
Yeah.
Orange Theory is always straight. We're always
Yeah.
sprinting. I think it'd be fun to take a dance class. So
I
I'm going to
used
look
to
into
like
it.
doing well, used to like taking, like, dance cardio, to
Yeah,
me,
that's
it's
fun.
fun, I like the music, I like the
It's
yeah,
really
I do like
fun.
it.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Alright,
look at anyways, side point.
let's
Okay.
go for it, yeah,
So
alright, here we go.
Michelle, so good to see you. It's been too long.
I know, how are you? Still dancing?
Not too much. I actually meant to brush up on my tap skills because I want to audition for a show.
Oh, that would be great. Well, my ballet has definitely gotten rusty.
Same. I definitely need a refresher from Mr. Jet.
Oh, man, he was the best. I'd love to fine tune my skills again. Maybe we should take another class together.
Definitely. Okay, it sounds like we had a previous life where we
Yes,
were taking dance classes with Mr.
with Mr.
Jet.
Jet.
I love it. I
Good
love
old
that.
Mr. Jet.
So you said, "Are you still dancing?" Right? Because we
Mhm,
shared this in our past, and I said, "Oh,
mhm,
not too much. I've actually meant to brush up on my tap skills."
mhm,
Right?
mhm.
Okay. I want to get back
Uh,
into it.
that's right, and I said, "Well, my ballet has definitely gotten rusty."
Yep. And then I said, "Same. I definitely need a refresher." Now,
Mhm.
that's an interesting construction. A refresher from Mr. Jet. Just tell us a little bit about that. What am I saying
You
exactly?
say, "I need a" like, basically, almost like a session of brushing up. Like, I need, like, another class. I need
Yeah.
a couple classes with Mr. Jet, so to refresh my memory, to refresh my skills.
Okay, got it. So I'm saying I want to take classes with him. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. The way I interpreted that when I first read it was that we used to take classes from Mr. Jet and I need a refresher from then like, from what we did then, but it makes more sense that I want Mr. Jet to teach me, like, help me learn this again. Is that
Right. It's
yeah.
not necessarily that you actually mean that, but you're just saying like, "Yeah, I need like I would need a new class from him,"
Yeah,
like
yeah,
if I wanna
okay.
yeah.
Got it.
That's how I
And
meant
then
it.
perfect. How about the next one? What do we do? Do we do
And then
that
I
one?
said I'd love to fine tune my skills again, so to
Mhm.
just get better, to, polish my skills.
Yeah, and I wanna add in one bonus phrase, right, that would kind of an extension here or is related is get back into something, right? To get
Get
back
back
into it.
into it.
Yeah,
Yes, that's good.
yeah, I
Get
like
back
that.
into something. I'll add that to the
Mhm.
bonus words as well.
That's a bonus phrase, and it's not just about relearning it, it's kind of about getting your mind back into it, get back into the habit, get excited about it again, right? It's about
Yeah.
more than just picking the skills back up again. So, I
Right.
mean, that'd be a good, question for our listeners for today, what do you wanna get back into, right?
Oh, yes, that
Mhm.
is a good question. That is a good question.
Yes. Alright, what's our takeaway for our
All right,
listeners?
guys, just because you lost a skill or you think you lost a skill or it's not you maybe you've gotten rusty, it doesn't mean it's gone forever and you can't turn it back around. So,
Mm.
just have that if it's something that you want to pick up again, like I do want to work on my music again. I honestly know that it's not the time for me right now just because everything's so busy and crazy, but I know that at one point, like as soon as I get the time, that's going to be the first thing that I try to brush up on. So, but I
Yeah.
know that my skills aren't lost, they're just rusty and I need to brush
They're
up
in
on
there.
them.
Yeah, they're in there
Yeah.
somewhere, right? I mean, for me too, Japanese is in there. It's very
Yeah.
deep back there, way back. We have to take it out of the cobwebs from the corners of the
Yes,
brain from
yes.
15 or 20 years ago, but it's in there. And, just be encouraged, be excited, guys. It doesn't mean you can come back to it and you will see those kind of synapses coming back together and you'll remember the construction of the language or the how to write a song you will remember it. It is in there. You own it, so get excited about what you want to get back into. So good.
Awesome. Love it. All right, Lindsay. And thank you again to our listener, Roberto, for that question.
All right, good stuff, Michelle. I'll talk to you very soon.
All
Take
right.
care.
Bye.